Once there was enough death that even the greedy did not have to share every bite. The flood had hunted for it, leaving a banquet where once it had starved. When the sun returned, it shone just as warmly on the dead as on the living. The plant-eaters did what they always did, found green between the bones. When the sun returned, it shone just as warmly on the dead as on the living. The plant-eaters did what they always did, found green between the bones.
When the river finally calmed, it did not return the valley they once knew, only a broken version of it.
They had survived, but none of them were the same creatures who had walked in the drought.
This time, the river had done most of the hunting for it, but it knew this would not last.
The flood had passed, but its shape remained in every pool and every silence.
The new day rose over a valley, washed clean and clogged with death at the same time. From above, the story the flood had written could be read all at once. They had eaten well, but the flood's work was wide. Some dead would feed the sky for days, even as the land tried to bury them. Not every feast belonged to teeth that walked.
It had watched the flood take more than any battle ever could, yet in the ruin it found more flesh than its hunger had ever dreamed of.
The flood had solved the crowding in a way no battle ever could.
New water that did not howl began to settle in places the flood could not reach. And
for the first time in many days, some of the sky hunters could afford to be curious instead of starving.
The true rulers of this changed valley were not the ones bound to the ground.
The abundance would not last, but for the moment, even the most restless could eat without rushing.
Life grew from death, while death still fed on life. The day the flood truly ended did not come with a roar, but with a sunset.
It could still tear apart anything on the ground, but the future seemed to belong more and more to the air.
They had watched fire, drought, and flood, and had learned to ride the changes without the buffet the flood had laid out.
They rested knowing that the ground below would never again be the same.
If the world were to be told from above, this moment would be a turning point.
For at least one night, hunger and thirst did not gnaw at their dreams. On this ancient planet, fire had tested them